Oh my goodness. This is a topic that I get contacted about pretty regularly and something that's on the forefront of everybody's mind when they have a puppy. And that is potty training. How do I teach my dog to pee outside? How do I get them to do this? What's the easiest way? What am I doing wrong? Why is my animal having so much problems inside the house? Um, and of course, every once in a while, I do get people calling me. I've had my adult dog, and my adult dog has pottied in the house their whole life, and I don't know how to fix it. Which those cases are always a little bit concerning because it's like, wow, how did you live through that? Like, that would drive me insane. Like, there's no pottying in my house. So we're going to talk about how to get some success here. It truly is not difficult as far as what you have to do, but it can be a little bit inconvenient. So hopefully some of you are watching this before you have a puppy because that can be a little bit more helpful than after the fact, like you're scrambling around to try to find all the information you need. So I'm going to be totally blunt with this. Potty training 100% is a habit. It's totally a habit. If your dog gets taken outside most of the time and they end up peeing outside or doing their business outside more times than they do inside, they're going to be potty trained for the outside. And so our goal when we're trying to potty train our dog is we want to give them as many opportunities to pee outside and do their business outside as possible. For young puppies, this means putting them on a potty schedule. Like, you are regularly pottying them. And there's some other factors that we want to take into consideration as well. I'm not going to go too in depth because there are some other details, like with young puppies. Well, I guess to go a little bit in depth. Don't tell anybody. Don't tell anybody. With young puppies, they're physically not capable of controlling everything and being really cognizant of, wow, I need to pee. Like, when that thought crosses the puppy's mind, I have to pee, they're usually peeing almost like that second, because they not only don't have physical control yet completely, but it didn't occur to them. Like, the buildup is not the same as like us, like, wow, I need to go to the bath. Like, well, when we were young, it was still the same. Like, kids wear diapers for a pretty long time, as far as that goes. And puppies, of course, I think there's an expectation of them learning not to potty in the house in the matter of like weeks. But the truth of the matter is, for your dog to be 100% potty trained, they have to be usually around 6 months old, where you can say, wow, we've had zero accidents for a long time. My dog's not going to pee in the house. They're going to whine at me and be like, hey man, I really got to go. And that's usually around 6 months time. So there seems to be some misconceptions about a puppy's capabilities as far as controlling their bowels and their bladder, which they don't really have control when they're that young. They're too little and they don't have the control. It's not developed yet. Like, physically, there aren't physical controls developed yet. So one of the things that is helpful to keep along with your puppy schedule is like notes for yourself. Potentially, you might need to. I don't know what kind of person are, if you can keep track of it in your head or not. But for some people, it's easier for them to take notes and things like that. So what you want to do is you want to sort of keep track of, okay, well, I just took him out 20 minutes ago. He pottied and he didn't poop, so I know that he's going to have to poop later, and I'm going to be on the lookout for that. And so it's those kinds of things that you want to be aware of. You also want to be aware of, what was the last thing that your puppy did? Did you just stop playing with them? Like, they just had a pretty strenuous activity and now it's over? If that's the case, get their butts outside, because everything's been moving. Their metabolism kicked up so that they had calories to burn, like they were burning calories, and it's really likely that they have to potty. So if you just trained your dog, if you just played with them, if they just woke up from a nap, if you're planning on crating them, if you just took them out of a crate, those are all times where you had better get them outside if you want to catch their, them pottying outside, because that's all this is about, is we're building a habit. We're catching them pottying in the correct place. I'm going to say a couple words about treats. You don't need treats. And frankly, you shouldn't use treats when you're potty training your dog, because that turns it into an obedience trick. And many dogs get wise to this, and they're like, wow, you give me treats every time I potty, so now I'm going to potty more. And that's what happens in regular training. You give me a treat every time I sit, so now I'm going to sit more. But except now it's your dog pottying all over your house, because they're like, where's my treats, man? I peed. Oh, there's another one. Another thing, too, that you do not want to do, don't scold your dog or punish them or anything for having an accident in the house. The only thing that that's going to do is it's going to make your dog not trust you in that particular scenario, and they're going to be less likely to pee when you are around. So you know how you're taking your dog outside and you're in the yard with them, or that you have them on leash and you're in the area and you're asking them to potty? Well, you just taught them last time that it's not safe to potty when you are there. So what's going to happen? The dog's probably not going to potty outside. You're going to get frustrated. You come back inside. They find a corner where you are not, and they potty. So punishment and treats do not belong in potty training at all. And then another detail that I just wanted to cover real quick. Make sure if you have a dog who is not potty trained, or they're having difficulties with their pottying, make sure you're using the correct cleaner. There's only one type of cleaner you should be using, and it's called an enzymatic cleaner. It has enzymes in there that break down the smell of the mess. Bleach does not do that. Any other household cleaners do not do that. The enzymatic cleaner breaks it down at a molecular level, and it gets rid of the smell. Because, of course, our dogs' noses are much more keen than ours, so they can smell it afterwards, even if we can't. Even if you already covered it with whatever. A very popular enzymatic cleaner is Nature's Miracle. There's other ones like Anti-Icky Poo, and there's a whole bunch of different kinds out there, different brands of them, but they're going to be the same thing. It's going to be enzymes, and they're going to break down the smell at a molecular level to completely remove it, which is what we need. So those are just some tips about potty training, and it really is a habit that's built. That's all. It's just a habit. But to build a habit, we have to do it repetitively, and we have to be consistent about it. And if that's not done, it's going to be a long road. I can tell you that much. Well, I'll see you guys in the next one, and stay safe out there.